welcome to VGK Today, a weekly podcast providing you a special look at the 2024-25 Vegas Golden Knights. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Friday, November 15th, with the VGK preparing for their second game of a two-game road swing tonight as they'll battle the Utah Hockey Club. Vegas found their footing on the first leg of the trip on Wednesday by taking down the Anaheim Ducks 3-2. Goals in each period guided Vegas to the win, including the eventual game-winning goal off the stick of Pavel Dorofeev.
Bouncing around right side, out in front, all alone, save, rebound, score! Pavel Dorofeev, and the Knights have a 3-1 lead. 9 goals on the season for Dorofeev. The first bid got stopped. The rebound came off of somebody in front, right back into the goal. And the Knights have scored 3 straight and have a 2-goal lead, the largest for either side today.
Well, Pavel Dorofeev's hot start to the year just continues. He's now up to 9 goals, which still leads the team, and he'll look to add to that total tonight against a Utah team that Vegas recently beat in overtime back on November 2nd at the Fortress. Though some of the offensive numbers are fun to look at, perhaps the most fun thing about this trip for Vegas is that it's the annual Dad's Trip. With the win over Anaheim, the Golden Knights are now an astonishing 10-0-1 all-time on Dad's Trips and looking to maintain that success tonight. After the break, Hnidy catches up with one of the dads as he has a nice chat with Bob Eichel. Golden Knights fans, the official VGK streaming app Nighttime Plus is back this season with performance upgrades and even more content. Visit nighttimeplus.com to learn more and stream games on any device. Also want to let you know that special ticket offers provide limited edition themed merchandise with your VGK ticket to select games, like Hockey Fights Cancer Night against Utah on November 30th. Visit the team website and click Tickets to see all of the special ticket offers.
All right, Hnidy here with Bob Eichel. It's the Dad's Trip. And Bob, first of all, let's one win. They're 10-0-1 now on the Dad's Trip. I know you haven't been part of it all, but what do you think it is about this, to watch your son, to have all the dads together? First and foremost, what's it like for a trip like this for you?
Oh, it's great, Jay. It's just a lot of fun just being around the other dads and seeing them once a year and spending time with your son. On the plane, you get to talk to him a whole bunch. You know, a lot of his, during the year, you don't really get to talk a whole lot because they're so busy with their schedule, so it works out good.
Now, you're a big hockey guy. Been in Boston, so I want to know about you. You're a hockey fan. You watch games. You give Jack advice, whether he wants it or not, which is most dads do.
All right. Agreed.
Does he take it?
You know, he really does. So, like, sometimes he'll say, like, okay, I don't need to hear it, and I won't say anything, and then I'll get a text the next day saying, well, what do you think? So I still think that he wants my opinion, but sometimes he doesn't want my opinion because he's ticked off right after the game or something. But I remember when they won the Cup, his first game against Winnipeg might have been the worst game he played, and I let him have it, and then he ended up going on the run. They win the Cup. And Elliot Friedman looked at me and said, what'd you say to him after game 1? Went on the ice.
Awesome.
And I was like, you don't want to know. And that was the end of it. He went on a run after that.
Well, it's interesting because he waited so long to get to playoffs, right? And it's a different animal. So it's like first time for him. But you've watched hockey forever.
Right. It's 1968.
68. So were you a Bruins fan? Who was your guy? Who's your team?
Well, of course, Bruins fan. Growing up in Boston in the 60s and 70s, Bobby Orr was everything. You know, the greatest I ever saw. We couldn't wait to flip on the TV, and we had like the little black and white with the coat hanger ears so we can see Fred Cusick and Johnny Pearson tell us about Bobby Orr. First time ever cried when Ken Dryden beat the Bruins in the 71 playoffs.
72 was better.
72 we won.
Yes, that's why.
Yep.
That's interesting because we both have Bruins backgrounds, and
That's right. Well, you were.
I was part. Yeah, I had to wait from 72 to 2011.
Yeah, that's fine though.
Did you watch that? Were you around?
2011? Yeah, I was a Bruins fan then still. Rooted you guys on, loved it. Jack was too.
Yeah.
So, because he was still in Boston back then, so.
We heard a story. So you mentioned Jack. He kind of helped him his first playoff game, and then his first time in playoffs, wins the Stanley Cup. His first goal, we heard the story yesterday. I know we talked about it. First game for Jack in Buffalo. First goal was your birthday. Yep. Can you give us that story? You remember it all.
Like it was yesterday. We just talked about it with my wife on the phone. October 8th, Buffalo first game. Probably 25 of my buddies and families came out, plus Aaron's family's from there. So it must have been 40, 50 people. And they had a box for us. It was pretty good. Vander Kane fed him out front. He goes under the bar. Great goal. But one of my buddies, I told you this yesterday, buys me a Jack Eichel hat. And I got the hat on, go downstairs after the game. He comes out, and he's got a framed jersey signed for me for my birthday. And he looks at me and goes, "What are you, blankety super fan?" So the hat was off, and I never wore it again. So
that's great, but like it is. You guys grew up super fans, love the game. What do you think? So you've seen, like I said, you know this team. What do you like about the Golden Knights right now? This team, this makeup, the way they play. Can they win another cup? I know you think they can.
I do. You know, like Jack Parker always said, it's about goalie. You know, he said the game should be named goalie. So if Aiden's on or whoever the goalie, makes it a lot easier for everybody else. You know, and healthy, of course. I mean, I thought last year they could have made a run, but they went in, they were pretty banged up. And I mean, they go 7 with Dallas. You know, Jackie puts that backhander in at the end of the second period. It might have been a different story. Yeah, they can. But you know what the thing about the Vegas Golden Knights is? Straight up, you know this. Yeah. They don't care. They make moves when it counts. You know, these guys don't hesitate.
Play to win, right? I love the fact that you remember Jack didn't make the backhand. that to me, somebody knows the game. Well, anyway, I just wanted to thank you, Bob, for this quick little chat. Enjoy the rest of the trip. You guys heading to Park City today?
I guess we are. I got to go sweat out all the food I ate yesterday.
The food. Yes, the food. Let's go with that. Anyways, thanks for the time, Bob.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, a great chat there with Shane and Bob, and definitely no mistaking where Bob calls home with that thick Boston accent. But great to hear from him and the relationship that both he and Jack have, and some of those stories dating back to the Stanley Cup run as well between father and son. Well, there were also some great stories and tidbits from some of the other guys about the Dad's Trip that were captured on Wednesday's radio broadcast with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless. So let's hear some more about the trip from Brayden McNabb, Tanner Pearson, Cole Schwindt, and Tomas Hertl.
It is the Dad's Trip. It's impossible to miss that obvious statement because they are everywhere. Morning skate, of course, on the plane yesterday, and lots of activities planned. So when I mention your dad, Kim, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, a lot of things. You know, he's always been there, obviously, since day one. He's helped me, you know, grow into the man I am today, and he's helped me out a lot. So, you know, he's a big reason in our family. He's got the big family farm going, and he loves it, and he works hard, and you know, he takes a lot of pride in his farm. So to get him out here, you know, I know he loves these trips. He wouldn't miss this trip for anything. So you know, he's pumped to be here, and I'm pumped to have him here.
Before I ask about the Dad's trips off the ice, how about on the ice? Why do you think it's gone so well?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, ever since we were young, everyone's dad was probably pretty important in their career, and they maybe bring another gear. I don't know. Maybe we should travel with them everywhere. Who knows? But, yeah, it's been good so far, and hopefully we can keep the record going strong here tonight.
And there are more memories to be made on this Dad's trip, beginning here in Anaheim and then, of course, to Utah for the first time. In the previous Dad's trips, do you have a standout memory, a great moment, something that comes to mind from the Dad's trips over the years?
There's been a lot, you know, very fortunate, you know, to be able to do this for this long, and, you know, it's very, you know, cool thing, the organization to do. It's all first-class stuff, and, you know, the restaurants, the activities they do, it's great. So, you know, you don't take any for granted. They're all great. The one we went to a winery, one of Bill's wineries. That was a good time. We had a little extra time on the road, so everyone got to have a little fun. That was pretty cool. But, you know, it's hard to say one because they're all great in different ways.
What's on the itinerary for this Dad's trip?
I think they're going whale watching this afternoon while we have a nap or get ready for the game. So I think that'll be pretty cool for some. I don't know if my dad's seen a whale. I'm sure he has in his lifetime, but I told him to take videos because my kid would like that. So, yeah, I think that'll be fun. And then I'm not sure what we'll do in Salt Lake. I think maybe the Olympic Park or something.
Your Uncle Daryl is on the trip. Tell us about having him here, what that means to you.
Yeah, no, it means the world. You know, I got a great support staff at home with Mom my uncles and my brother. So it's nice that I could bring him on this trip, and I know he's having a hell of a time here too.
What's one of your favorite memories? Your dad Tim is here with you, and what's one of your favorite hockey memories for you and your dad?
Yeah, obviously the one that would stand out would be definitely the cup, having the night to celebrate in LA, then bring it to their house. That probably tops the list for sure.
How have you enjoyed having your dad around?
Yeah, he's critic. He's always, even after 12 years, he gets always something to say. So I expected he will tell me all the mistakes right away from the hall. But it's actually nice because last year when I was still in San Jose via Father's trip here in Anaheim, and I scored a goal too. So hopefully at least that makes him a little happy.
Hold on, you're worried that you're going to get a little bit of grief from your dad after the game?
Oh, I'm used to it. I don't even care, but he's on me all the time. He's still he never played, but if you listen to him, he think he's he got 2,000 games in NHL. So when we get on the plane, probably one beer on it, he will say all the mistakes. So he will never change it. I kind of get used to it. But when I was young, he was really tough on me. But I think it's kind of helped me, makes me stronger against, stuff around the league.
Did he remember to wish you a happy birthday?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice actually yesterday because we got a team there with the dads and everybody actually sang for me. So that was kind of first time. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, not even NHL superstars can escape the critiques from their fathers, as Tomas described there at the end. Tomas even had a goal in Vegas' win on Wednesday, but, there's always room for improvement, as his father Yaroslav joins the trip this year and is providing some pointers in person to his son over the next couple of games. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we will take a look at some of the biggest storylines from across the NHL. Golden Knights fans can score big on game days at Nelly's Southern Kitchen at MGM Grand. Wear your VGK gear for a home or road game and get 10% off your bill. Golden Knights goals taste even better with Nelly's mouth-watering Southern Delights. So grab your gear and catch the game at Nelly's Southern Kitchen. The Vegas Golden Knights Game Changer program, presented by America First Credit Union, recognizes and rewards teachers in Clark County that are going above and beyond in their classrooms. Outstanding teachers nominated will have the chance to receive a $1,000 grant that can be used toward improving their classroom. Nominate a teacher today at vegasgoldenknights.com. Well, before we get to some of the league-wide stories, we have to make an acknowledgement for Brayden McNabb, who signed a 3-year contract extension through the 2027-28 season with the Golden Knights, worth an average annual value of $3.65 million. Huge congratulations to Brayden, who has been one of the mainstays of the Golden Knights for all 8 seasons now, of course, an original Golden Knight. And you look at some of the numbers from him, coming off a career high in points with 26 last year, has played in 194 consecutive regular season games, which includes each of the team's 82 games over the past couple of years. And he sits as the current franchise leader in games played, hits, blocked shots, and time on ice. 518 games played for Brayden with the franchise, just recently passed that mark in the last week, and over 10,000 minutes on the ice for the Vegas Golden Knights. A massive congratulations to Brayden McNabb on his 3-year contract extension with the Golden Knights. Transitioning now to take a look at what's going on around the league this week, we have to start with Connor McDavid. Now, last week we talked about him because he was making his return from injury against the Golden Knights, and this week it is all about a major milestone, as McDavid has become the 99th player in NHL history to reach 1,000 points. Just incredible. He is the 4th fastest player to reach that milestone, doing so in 659 games, trailing some pretty big names: Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Mike Bossy. And boy, if he can stay even somewhat near this pace, you have to like his chances of joining Gretzky in the 2,000-point club down the line. And if you take his current points per game, if he were able to play the 1,487 games that Gretzky got to, he would get to just about 2,250, 2,260 in that range there. So lots of points to come for Connor McDavid. And of course, we'll see where he can end up with these staggering numbers he's already put up in his career. And one little nugget that I found interesting came courtesy of Sportsnet Stats, and it's the games it has taken McDavid to reach each of his 100-point milestones. So the 100-point mark, 200-point mark, etc. And talking about consistency for McDavid, from the 700 to 800, 800 to 900, and the most recent 900 to 1,000 mark, each of those 3 segments has taken him exactly 58 games to reach, which is a staggering 1.72 points per game over that stretch, better than his already amazing 1.52 for his career. And prime Connor McDavid, just an incredibly talented player, and any team rivalries aside with Vegas and Edmonton, just such a fun player to watch. He is marking his place in the history books as we speak, and excited to see where he can continue to go the rest of this season. Of course, hoping that he continues to slow things down against the Vegas Golden Knights. Elsewhere across the league, we still have to talk about the Winnipeg Jets. We mentioned last week on the show that they could reach 14-1 and have the most points through 15 games in NHL history. And since then, they have accomplished that and then some, improving to 15-1 for the best start to a season in league history in that span, before finally dropping their second game yesterday in a 4-1 loss to Tampa Bay. And what's most impressive about this Jets team is that it has really been a full team effort, from Connor Hellebuck's .934 save percentage in net to Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Nikolai Ehlers, each eclipsing the 20-point mark already, not to mention defensemen Neil Pionk and Josh Morrissey chipping in with 17 apiece. It's been great stuff from the Jets, who will be in town to face the Golden Knights on Black Friday later this month. Before we jump that far ahead, though, the Golden Knights still have some work to take care of and lots of games, especially on the road, to handle before we get to that game on Black Friday. First one coming up, of course, we mentioned it. It is later tonight, 6 o'clock puck drop between the Golden Knights and the Utah Hockey Club, one of 5 games on the NHL schedule tonight. You can also tune into the Penguins and Blue Jackets, the Capitals and the Avalanche, the Predators and the Flames, and the Red Wings and the Ducks. That's the schedule tonight. And for the Golden Knights, a bit of a weird schedule that they've had of late. Had, of course, the 2 games on the road against the Oilers and Kraken last week. Single game at home against Carolina that they dropped on Monday. A couple of games on the road this week. They're going to be back home on Sunday for the Washington Capitals, and that sets up a 5-game road trip for Vegas that'll take them through Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Philadelphia, and Colorado before they get back to that Black Friday game against the Winnipeg Jets. So lots of road hockey coming up for the Golden Knights, and they're looking to make it a perfect week on the road at least after a win on Wednesday in Anaheim and get a win against Utah tonight. That'll just about wrap things up for this week's episode. Thanks as always for tuning in to VGK Today. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your preferred podcast platform, as we'll be back every week throughout the 2024-25 regular season with new episodes. Justin Russo signing off for VGK Today.